Welcome to another episode, everyone. Let's continue, shall we, with the Tupac murder suspect, Dwayne Davis, here, Keffe D, snitching on everyone. He has snitched on the Mexican mafia. Yeah, he did. Talking about he was receiving 200 kilos. Who was that? That's the mafia. That ain't somebody on the street corner. That's some heavily connected individuals. He snitched on them. He also has snitched on Suge Marion Knight and said that he was responsible for the drug trade on the north side of Compton. He has snitched on Buntry and Mob James, who was just there testifying on his behalf a day or so ago. Mob James, I'm sure, not knowing Mob James, that this individual had snitched on him 28 years ago in 1998. Here, the FBI agent, as we can see, retired FBI agent, testifies in Tupac's Shakur murder trial. This is a retired FBI agent who had a proffer going with Dwayne Davis here, in which he was investigating activities in Compton and Watts, illegal activities in the gang culture and drug culture. He sat down with an interview with Dwayne Davis and was asking him many questions about what was going on in those communities. And Dwayne Davis, well, apparently did not hesitate to spill all of the beans. He had snitched on everyone. Trayvon Lane, I can't even keep up. Zip, Fats, Kevin Kerry Wood. Man, this dude here. Let's continue with the snitching he's been doing. Let's see who he's telling on next. Because he won't stop, that's for sure. He done told on multiple people. Pimps, dealers, and killers. He's told on all of them. He told on the Long Beach gang, Mexican mafia, you name it. Okay, let's see.
Proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Now, after Mr. Davis goes to federal prison...
Hang on 1 second. They're not offered to show propensity to commit crime, and you are not to consider them for any propensity that Mr. Davis has any propensity to commit crime. You may proceed, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, right.
I phrased that one.
Yeah, right.
Subsequent to Mr. Davis going to prison, do you and your partner, Todd Holliday, go to federal prison and have just a voluntary conversation with Mr. Davis?
Yes, we did. We went
Is that situation different than the proffer situation?
It is in that it's a strictly voluntary interview. His attorney, the U.S. Attorney's Office, were notified of us contacting him because he's in custody. But the terms of the proffer, it's not the same as the proffer agreement. It's just a normal, regular interview.
But once again, you do promise him confidentiality during
Yes.
that conversation.
Yes, we did.
And up until the U.S. Attorney authorized you, you maintain that confidentiality.
That's correct.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Proposed Exhibit number 149. Is that the 302 that describes that particular conversation?
Yes, it is.
Move to Exhibit 149.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
He had another conversation. Now he's in the
I'm going to
feds.
put that one up on the screen.
Now he's in the feds.
Can you tell me the date that occurred?
The interview. Let's see here.
4/20/99.
April 15th, 1999.
Oh,
Okay.
15.
And the report's generated on April 20th of 19.
That's correct.
Okay. So the report was generated. So this is the next year. So if we have been following along, we know that Keffe D has snitched again on 20 people for all sorts of crimes. He still has received 70 months in the federal prison system. So he's in the feds now, and this same federal officer who apparently he has cultivated a rapport with goes up there to interview him again, now while he's in the feds. And let's see what Keffe D has to say now that he's actually in prison. About to go back in the cell with his cellie and be a shot caller after leaving from talking to the feds right there in prison. And saying what, Keffe? What did you say, Keffe?
You begin the conversation with him talking about Mr. Anderson and his death. Is that fair?
Yes, that's correct.
And then Mr. Davis tells you he's not aware of any motive for why blood gang members or individuals associated with death row records would have wanted to kill Anderson.
That's correct.
And then he repeats that he had nothing to do with either Tupac Shakur or Christopher Wallace's murder.
Yes, he actually, he said that himself and Mr. Orlando Anderson were not involved in the shooting death of Tupac Shakur, and as well as anybody else that he was associated with, and with Tupac or Mr. Christopher Wallace, Notorious B.I.G.
Does he speculate again as to who would have been involved in these two murders?
He said, he told us he didn't know who killed the two rap stars, but that he believed individuals from New York associated with Puffy Combs or individuals associated with Death Row Records could have killed Shakur, and that individuals associated with Death Row Records killed Mr. Wallace.
And then
So he's snitching. He's still snitching, but he perhaps is snitching and lying on individuals, trying to put murder cases on individuals. Because as we can see, he's the one accused of it. He's the one on trial for Tupac's murder. Yet he's trying to put it on death row. And P. Diddy, boy, you right there where P. Diddy is at. You better be careful. And boy, get out that baby oil.
he talks a little bit of the gang war that occurs shortly after the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Snitch.
Yes. Basically, he said that there was a conflict between Davis and Mr. Marion Knight that resulted, as a result of the shootings, that the conflict, there was basically a war going on between Southside Compton Crips and Compton Blood Pirate gang members, stemming from the mall altercation with Marcus Nunn and Orlando Anderson, other members of Southside Compton Crips, along with the Compton Blood gang members.
And he claims the reason that people believe that Orlando Anderson is the killer is that he asserts the Compton police is telling people that.
That's correct. He made comments that he believed that Compton PD members were putting out rumors that Orlando Anderson and them were involved.
Do you confront him about Mr. Anderson, the attack, and him being upset about that particular attack?
Well, I mean, we asked him about that, about the whole escalation of incidents because of the gang activity. They had the incident at the mall, then at the MGM Grand, then obviously the shooting of Tupac and things of that nature. Mr. Davis said that Davis and Anderson were upset after the casino's attack on Anderson, but they weren't going to strike back with so many police officers around, that they would have struck back once they returned to Compton.
So he indicates to you that he's angry enough to do it. It's just he planned on doing it back in Compton, which instead of in Las Vegas.
Yeah, if they were, apparently it was because of police presence in the area, something of that nature.
I'm not going to go through all the rest of it.
Okay, so for whatever reason, well, I guess for obvious reasons, at this juncture, Keffe D the defendant, Dwayne Davis, is denying any involvement in Tupac's killing with the FBI. He has denied it with the proffer when this same FBI agent spoke with him, interviewed him. He said he had nothing to do with it. In fact, he said that the Compton police were probably responsible for it under the authority and direction of Suge Knight because Tupac wanted to leave death row. This is what he said. Keffe D, the defendant. Now, this same officer, FBI agent, goes to speak with him months later, the next year, 1999, as he is now in the feds, even though he's done all of that snitching, he's still in the feds. And they go and speak with him. And he's denying any involvement in Tupac's murder. Well, yeah, because he can be charged with it at this time. Right? So he's still denying it. But at some point, we know that he admitted to it during apparently another proffer. It wasn't during that first proffer. That was regarding gang activity in Compton and Watts. But we know that he admitted to this killing during a proffer. So there was another situation that apparently he was involved with where he felt like he had to speak on it to get out of that situation and told the police everything that he knows about Tupac's killing because he went into great detail. As we've seen him on podcasts doing interviews in public, going into grand detail about what happened on that fateful night of September 7th, 1996. So, for whatever reason, the prosecution, because this apparently is a prosecutor, we see Keffe D sitting there next to his lawyer, is painting the picture and developing his story that Keffe D at first was denying on multiple occasions with the FBI even that he had any involvement whatsoever in Tupac's unalive. But obviously he has an end goal, does the prosecutor, to show that eventually he admitted it. I'm interested to know who he ended up admitting it to. Is it the same FBI agent who he has denied it to at least 2 times already? Or who offered him the proffer? And at what point did he change his whole story from I had nothing to do with it and it was Suge Knight and Death Row and P. Diddy to it was me and my nephew and everyone else in the car, named everyone in the car, everything that everyone did in the car, etc. When did this change? We'll continue to cover it and find out. Keffe D, the suspect, the defendant in the Tupac Amaru Shakur murder trial, exposed for snitching on multiple occasions and on many different individuals. He's tried to put murder charges on different individuals, different gangs, different races even. And he snitched about kingpins in the neighborhood. And who was the kingpin? He's told on Buntry's brother, Mob James, Suge, Marion Knight, Trayvon Lane, Kevin Woods, some individual named Fats, some individual named Zip. Reggie Wright Jr. said that he was responsible for the notorious B.I.G.'s murder. This is a well-known individual here, Keffe D, now perhaps wishing that he had taken the deal that they offered him. Whatever it was, even if you're going to die in prison, it's better than this stuff right here coming out because now we know that you have snitched in the worst way nearly 30 years ago on all of the individuals that you had been hanging out with and were cool with, individuals who were fronting you 200 kilos. And how did you thank them and repay them? You gave them up to the FBI. This is sinister. Let me know what you think in the comments. We continue to cover it. I'm interested to know at what point did he admit to it. We know that he admitted to it on podcast, but at what point did he admit to it with his proffer? And why did he need another proffer to begin with, to the point where he now breaks down and admits to everything that went on? But now, of course, he's in trial because he is denying that he had any involvement, like he at first denied at least 2 times with the FBI. Consistent with that, he's denying it, saying that he only said these things on the podcast for money, that it had no veracity. We'll see what the jury says, if they are going to buy that it was all made up. But at some point, he admitted it to the police. So we'll find out exactly when that was and why. As a matter of fact, I think he's coming up next. The individual that he admitted it to. Yeah. So we'll continue to cover it here on the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter. Hype the video, subscribe to the channel. I never ask for that kind of stuff, Rick. I just do my stuff, whatever. But subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of y'all support. Rest in peace to Tupac and the Biggie Smalls. Baby Lane too, for that matter. A lot of people ended up dead in all of this situation. And it's all coming out now in the trial. Finally, 30 years after Tupac was brutally murdered, gunned down. They showed the autopsy photos yesterday. They were very graphic and hard to look at. And we'll see what happens. Someone killed him. That's for sure. Someone killed him. Someone killed Biggie Smalls. Someone put bullets in both of those men. So we'll see if this trial exposes who, what, where, and why. It's just getting started. This is day 3. And the defense, of course, is going to have a chance to cross-examine all of these people if they so choose. But the prosecution is clearly here developing a theory with establishing that he first denied any involvement. But then he's going to, of course, drop the hammer and say he eventually admitted to it. So we'll continue to cover it and see what happens. So let me know what you think in the comments. Keffe D. On trial, Tupac's murder. Telling on everyone. Stay safe and stay free, people.